Good evening and welcome back to another episode of The Longing, where tonight we're going to be continuing to read Moby Dick, but we're not going to do the full episode as reading Moby Dick, because that would invariably take us to the end of Moby Dick. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually only going to read about 5 pages of Moby Dick, because what I want to do after we finish is have a little bit of time to discuss and talk about it. So you're going to get 5 pages today and 5 pages tomorrow, roughly, depending on if I time it correctly. And then at the end of today's episode, we're going to do a little bit of drawing, just to fill the rest of the time. So, without much further ado, let's get going. Ahab staggered. His hand smote his forehead. I grow blind. Hands, stretch out before me that I may yet grope my way. Is't night? The whale, the ship, cried the cringing oarsman. Oars, oars, slope downwards to thy depths. O sea, that ere it be forever too late, Ahab may slide this last time upon his mark. I see the ship, dash on, my men. Will ye not save my ship? But as the oarsmen violently forced their boat through the sledge-hammering seas, the before whale-smitten bow ends of 2 planks burst through, and in an instant almost, the temporarily disabled boat lay nearly level with the waves, its half-wading, splashing crew trying hard to stop the gap and bail out the pouring water. Meantime, for that one beholding instant, Tashtego's masthead hammer remained suspended in his hand, and the red flag, half wrapping him as with a plaid, then streamed itself straight out from him, as his own forward flowing heart, while Starbuck and Stubb, standing upon the bowsprit beneath, caught sight of the down-coming monster just as soon as he. The whale, up helm, up helm! Oh, all ye sweet powers of air, now hug me close. Let not Starbuck die, if die he must, in a woman's fainting fit. Up helm, I say, ye fools, the jaw, the jaw! Is this the end of my bursting prayers, all my lifelong fidelities? O Ahab, Ahab, lo, thy work. Steady, helmsman, steady. Nay, nay, up helm again. He turns to meet us. Oh, his unappeasable brow drives on towards one, whose duty tells him he cannot depart. My God, stand by me now. Stand not by me, but stand under me, whoever you are that will now help Stubb, for Stubb too sticks here. I grin at thee, thou grinning whale, whoever helped Stubb or keeps Stubb awake, but Stubb's own unwinking eye. And now poor Stubb goes to bed upon a mattress that is all too soft. Would it were stuffed with brushwood. I grin at thee, thou grinning whale. Look ye, sun, moon, and stars. I call ye assassins of as good a fellow as ever spouted up his ghost. For all that, I would yet ring glasses with ye, would ye but hand the cup. Oh, thou grinning whale, but there'll be plenty of gulping soon. Why fly ye not, O Ahab? For me, off shoes and jacket to it. Let Stubb die in his drawers, a most mouldy and over-salted death, though. Cherries, cherries, cherries. O Flask, for one red cherry ere we die. Cherries? I only wish that we were where they grow. O Stubb, I hope my poor mother's drawn my part pay ere this. If not, few coppers will now come to her, for the voyage is up. From the ship's bows nearly all the seamen now hung inactive, hammers, bits of planks, lances, and harpoons mechanically retained in their hands, just as they had darted from their various employments, all their enchanted eyes intent upon the whale, which from side to side, strangely vibrating his predestinating head, sent a broad band of overspreading semicircular foam before him as he rushed. Retribution, swift vengeance, eternal malice were in his whole aspect, and spite of all that mortal man could do, the solid white buttress of his forehead smote the ship's starboard bow, till men and timbers reeled. Some fell flat upon their faces. Like dislodged trucks, the heads of the harpooneers aloft shook on their bull-like necks. Through the breach they heard the waters pour, as mountain torrents down a flume. "The ship, the hearse, the second hearse," cried Ahab from the boat. "Its wood could only be American." Diving beneath the settling ship, the whale ran quivering along its keel, but turning under water, swiftly shot to the surface again, far off the other bow, but within a few yards of Ahab's boat, where, for a time, he lay quiescent. I turned my body from the sun. What ho, Tashtego! Let me hear thy hammer. O ye three unsurrendered spires of mine! Thou uncracked keel, and only God-bullied hull, thou firm deck and haughty helm, and pole-pointed prow, death-glorious ship, must ye then perish, and without me am I cut off from the last fond pride of meanest shipwrecked captains? O lonely death on lonely life! Oh, now I feel my topmost greatness lies in my topmost grief. Ho, ho, from all your furthest bounds, pour ye now in, ye bold billows of my whole foregone life, and top this one piled coma to my death. Towards thee I roll, thou all-destroying but unconquering whale. To the last I grapple with thee. From hell's heart I stab at thee. From hate's sake I spit my last breath at thee. Sink all coffins and all hearses to one common pool, and since neither can be mine, let me then tow to pieces, while still chasing thee, though tied to thee, thou damned whale. Thus I give up the spear. The harpoon was darted. The stricken whale flew forward. With igniting velocity the line ran through the grooves, ran foul. Ahab stooped to clear it. He did clear it, but the flying turn caught him round the neck, and voicelessly as Turkish mutes bowstring their victim, he was shot out of the boat, ere the crew knew he was gone. Next instant the heavy eye-splice of the rope's final end flew out of the stark, empty tub, knocked down an oarsman, and smiting the sea, disappeared in its depths. And with that, we're going to end the reading for today, and we're going to leave just a few pages. But we are very close to the end, as it seems, so we are going to draw very quickly, if we can. So we've drawn our friends, we'll draw a cave. I will say that once we've finished Moby Dick, we are going to spend some time in the Halls of Eternity, probably quite a long time if I'm honest, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to work out just how many pieces of paper I still need in order to draw the rest of the drawings that are still able to be drawn. We'll do that during an episode once we finish Moby Dick, but we will work that out and then spend a fair amount of time in the Halls of Eternity trying to acquire the last bits of paper that we need to draw it all. I may end up getting, depending on how many we need and how fast we get them, I may set a limit so that we can spend a certain amount of time going in one direction and then just reversing once we've either achieved a certain amount, or if that is taking far too long, to just head back regardless, and then make another go of it later down the line. I will also say at this point, I do intend to read more of the books in the library. as the thing, as part of this ongoing endeavour. It would be very good if I could read all of them, all of the books in our library. That'd be very, very good indeed. Oh, and there we are, done with our art. So we'll move our spider friend over here. Put the cave in pride of place and go and sit back down. So I will say thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you all have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon or night, no matter what time of day it is. I hope you all have a wonderful one of it. And as always, we will be back tomorrow for more of The Longing. Goodbye.